Hello, it's Leanne Peters and I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support that I trust supports you at this time. So while you're coming over and seeing that I'm live or coming to the replay, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Friday the 21st of October here, and it's exactly 6:45 p.m. So it's the end of the day. It's just the sun is going down if we had the sun out, but we do have lots of clouds. So we're getting towards the end of the day here. So I am going to say hello to you in the comments. Please say hello if you want to. My intention for this next 10 or 15 minutes is I'm going to pull a healing energy card. We're going to talk about that card. So I'm going to pull it for us all. I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I'm going to pull a card that we all need at this time, the majority of us. We'll chat about the card, see what it has to offer, see how it resonates with you. And then I'm going to play my quartz singing bowl for a few minutes just to help you connect or whatever it is that you need, which we'll probably find out more from the card. And then I will pull another card to go. So that's my plan. So I trust it supports you. As always, please take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life and how you're feeling easily, and let the rest go. If it doesn't make sense, it really doesn't matter. So let's not put too much weight into the things that just don't resonate. Sometimes if things don't resonate with me that I'm hearing or that I'm connecting with, then I'll just sit with it for a few hours or a few days and just really make sure that it doesn't resonate with me, because sometimes things trigger, sometimes things are said or things that we connect with trigger us and trigger like an imbalance within us, and our reaction can be that, hey, that's wrong. But I think sometimes, in fact, I think often it's good to sit with the things that we're triggered by or the things that maybe don't resonate to a big degree, just to make sure that they actually don't resonate, that we're not rejecting something that could possibly be of benefit to us, if that makes sense. So let's say hello in the comments and then we'll get straight into our healing time. Josh is here. Hi, Josh. I trust that you're well. Hi, Karen and Valentina. Hello, Snezana. Welcome. And Anita's here from New Zealand. Beautiful. Hi, Vanessa and Katrina. And Erin is here. Hi, Janice. Great. Welcome. Hi, Melanie. And Debbie's here from the UK. Rebecca's here. Hi, Rebecca. I trust that you're doing well as well. How are you all doing? Are things flowing well for you at this time? So let's grab a card. So what I'm using here are my healing energy cards. It's deck 1, the original deck, and deck 2, the new deck that's coming, that's at the printers now. Yay! I've got those printed as templates. So the 2 decks here combined, there's 110 cards in this combined deck, and these are not available yet. So pre-orders will open for these very long-awaited cards and the reprint of my original deck, which has been upgraded. Pre-orders will open in November or December when printing is finished. So I'll let you know when that is. And they're expected to arrive, the decks, in early 2023. So it's very exciting. Hello, Regina. Hi, Sandra. So I'm shuffling these cards and I'm asking the cards to show us what the majority of us need at this time. I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I trust in the energy of the group. So what do the majority of us need? The best card for us is this here. And it's this. Oh, it's card 1 out of 110 cards, and there are 110 literally marked 1 to 110. So we've got card 1, enchantment, and it's in the rest category here. Down here it says, see how this resonates with you? It says walk lightly, lighten up, grounding, spend time in nature, contemplate potential new beginnings and what's next, consider your dreams or what you want for your future, your goals, your ambitions, and fantasy. So what really stands out to me are the couple of parts of this, which are walk lightly or lighten up. That light energy is really getting my attention, but it feels light as in weight, light, so weight-wise. How do we need to lighten up? Do we need to lighten our load? Do we need to walk a little bit more lightly? Do we need to speak a little bit more lightly somehow? Have things become too heavy and burdensome and pressured? Do you feel like you're under some big weight that you're trying to manage? The weight of the world perhaps, or just the weight of the things that you're dealing with at this time in your life. So how can you lighten yourself? How can you lighten that load, that lightening energy? And the other thing that really stands out here is contemplate potential new beginnings and what's next. So have you got things that you want to bring into your life? Are there areas of your life that have become stale and perhaps stagnant, and you've been thinking perhaps lately or thinking for a while about starting something new or learning something new or taking a skill you've got to the next level, or getting more invested time-wise, or maybe financially in things that you're interested in, so you can bring more of what you more into your life than maybe what's present right now. In less of a, the more we're worrying about, the more we've got to stress about and worry about, the more we're pressured by, the more time and energy and thought and headspace that takes up. So if we're thinking that we want more of that, which I doubt it's not really that I'm talking about. It's not the weight. It's about taking our attention away from the weight. So what I'm seeing is this big sort of sphere, like a big ball that's heavy with bricks and rocks and heavy things, and we might be trying to kind of balance and juggle this and trying to keep our balance while we're walking around with this big sphere just above us or around our head. But it almost feels like this card's reminding us that if we can turn our attention, or this particular sentence, contemplate potential new beginnings and what's next, it's like a way to divert our attention and our focus to something else other than this big thing that we're carrying around. So the more we think about and invest in and talk about and walk through parts of our life that keep this ball, this heavy energy in place, the more consuming and the heavier it's going to become. So in some ways, I feel like to lighten this load, to lift it up a bit and hopefully eventually remove it, is to divert our attention to something fresh. And I really love that refreshing, fresh word at the moment, to turn our attention to something lighter and fresher, something more refreshing, that can give us a little boost of energy or a little bit of excitement or something to look forward to, something to learn, something to challenge ourselves with that, can really test us to see what we're capable of and what we can achieve and what we can learn and how we can grow as an individual. So there is a switch in focus here that wants to come in. So enchantment is the name of the card, and I love this illustration. So she's sitting, this is representing us as an individual, and we're sitting in this tree, and she's sitting here, or we, if this represents us, on this bed of crystal, and we're looking in. So she's facing into the tree. Could you imagine it? Wouldn't that be amazing to be sitting in an alcove within this beautiful big tree, and there was nothing in there? I'm thinking spider. When I go for bushwalks and I'm looking around in these crevices of trees, and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to stick my head in there, and I'm thinking, oh, there's lots of spiders living in there. So I'm imagining that it's free of creepy crawlies and slithery things and things with sharp claws. And just imagining this tree, this trunk of this tree that's just beautiful, beautifully carved out, maybe even polished on the inside, and just a really welcoming place that we can sort of ease into and sit in and face. So we've got our back to the outside and we're literally looking into this tree and looking into its self, into the intricacies of the trunk from inside, and maybe even casting our gaze upwards and seeing, maybe we could see some of the rings of the tree as well, and the patternings on the inside, the things that make this have made this tree tick in some ways, or facilitated its early growth. That sort of what am I trying to say here? Like the real innards of this tree. So that's what I'm really connecting with too, with this tree. So the tree's grounding. There's a path that leads up here. It feels very welcoming, very protective as it watches over us in a very protective way. So this is the visual I suggest, if it resonates with you, that you might want to take into our sound healing time. If you really feel this connection, maybe imagine yourself sitting in a tree. And in this tree, you're relaxing, you're focused, you're putting aside all of the pressures and the stresses that you've got going on in your life. And you're just focusing on your breathing, you're focusing on your body, and you're focusing on being in this sort of deeply silent tree trunk. Now, if there are other things that you need, and this is not feeling strongly for you, that's okay. So maybe there's something better that resonates with you that you can visualize, or there may be something more important that you need. Maybe you need some support. Oh, excuse me. Maybe you need some support or strength or healing, some peace. Maybe you just need a break. So maybe you can contemplate before I start playing, what is it that you need right now? If you could break it down into a word, what would it be? So once you determine what it is that you need right now, then let's work together with the bowl to help create this space for you and what you need. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to play the singing bowl. This is quartz and it resonates with the throat chakra. The throat's our center for communication, expression, and truth, and feeling safe to speak our truth and be who we are. So I'm going to play the bowl. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and see what happens for you, or hold your intention. You know, what is it that you need? Hold that at the forefront. Or if you resonate with that visual of sitting in the tree, take yourself there and take some nice big breaths, and I'll chat with you when I'm done. again, just catch your breath and allow your breath to take you deeper into yourself and into this moment, into your body. And funnily enough, it feels to me like the deeper we can go into ourselves as well, the less we have to try and keep and maintain this heavy weight that we carry. Whether it's a problematic situation or just lots of different things that are compacting up or compiling up, or whether you've got something fresh and new that you're dealing with too, a really difficult situation that's really new, because that can be really difficult to try and manage too. So it almost feels like the deeper we can go, if we can just connect in with our body, with the earth, with our breath, with our heart, that will also help us manage what we have to manage right now in life. There are some things maybe we put pressure on, maybe the pressure's on us that is not 100% important. So it might be, for example, other people's problems, could be the world situation, things that are out of our control in some ways, maybe things that we're worried about and stressed about that may not be that important for us to be carrying around as this heavy burden weight in our day-to-day life. If there are things that we're really struggling with in our life that we're faced with, health issues, financial issues, relationship problems, our living situation may be precarious at the moment, or we may just be dealing with some conflict too around, or maybe loss. These things are very impactful for us very personally. They're very close to home, if you like. So these things we do tend to, or these are things that, what's the best word here? Like, it's reasonable to assume, I guess, or reasonable to, what are the words here? That we would be feeling burdened by the things that are, it makes sense that we might be feeling burdened by such things. It might not make a lot of sense. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to be losing sleep and worrying about other people's problems that don't directly affect me, or problems that I may hear about the world that may not even be true. So they're the things I'm very cautious of taking any responsibility for, if you like, or allowing for me to lose my balance over, because they are not significant to me as an individual, if that makes sense. The things that are directly connected with me, they are significant to me as an individual. So the truth is, and any of us dealing with stuff like that, which is pretty common and normal, but some days are easier or harder than others, it makes sense that we are trying to juggle things, and we might feel the weight of things hanging over us. So, sometimes taking a break or a moment to just sort of connect in, to rebalance ourselves, to connect with the earth, and to just help strengthen us in our body and strengthen us within ourselves, so that we can continue to juggle or manage the things that are significant and that are happening in our life, that are important to us. They are part of our life, if you like, at this time, whether they are temporary or not. Most things are. But thank you. I trust you enjoyed the singing bowl. And if you just joined in, I was playing it with this card in mind, card 1, Enchantment. And come back and watch the replay if you missed that. I don't need to really go over the card again. So thanks so much for joining me. I am going to pull a card to go. Before I do, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, please don't hesitate to send us an email through our website. If you would like to learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. What have we got? My art class and card reading club are coming up on the 11th of November, so you can learn more about them on my website. You can't get these cards yet, so they're open for pre-orders next month. Hopefully, fingers crossed, printing will be done. So keep an eye out for that. There's pendants, earrings, drawings, meditations. I've got other card decks that I've created, books, myriad of things, ceramics. So please have a look on my website if you'd like to learn more about what I do. So templeofbalance.com.au. Let's grab a card to go. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need as we move forward from here. So this is like an action card. What do we need to do or consider doing to help implement maybe the peace or the connection or the, even if it's just a little bit of a lighter load that you carry now. Maybe when you started connecting, you felt like you had this heaviness over you, and maybe you feel even just a little bit lighter. And that's a good thing if you did. So how can you maintain that? How can you carry that into your life? That's what I'm interested to figure out with you. So I'm looking for the best card to represent that. So the best card for what's next for the majority of us moving forward from here. So about the next 24-ish hours. Something to keep in mind. Yes, my favourite card in this deck. And it's so inspiring. It's card 33, Rise of the Phoenix. And it's in the Rise category. Makes sense. And down here it says, take everything to the next level. Rebirth, new life, let go. Emerge as your real you. So that the first thing that comes to mind with that is that visual of sitting in the tree trunk. And now as we emerge out of the tree trunk, let's make sure we're emerging as our real and authentic self. You know, let's make sure we're not pretending that we're okay. Let's make sure we're not pretending that we're not okay as well. Let's make sure that we're really being true and honest with ourselves and in our interactions with everybody. And also our interactions with ourselves. Let's really listen to how we feel and listen to what our problems are. Listen to what we've got going on and how we're coping or how we're not coping. Let's listen to whether we're in balance or not. So if you're going to sit in that tree trunk for a little bit longer, if you kind of like it in there and you want to sort of, depending on what time of the day it is for you and what you've got going on, you might want to sit in this now, put some nice music on and stay here for a little while. And then when you come out, think about how you can come out maybe without, you know, what I'm visualizing here is this sort of stripping off of our old skin, the masks or the costumes that we've been wearing to keep face or whatever we've had to do. It says here that you create galaxies through your actions and your intentions. So your actions and your intentions have consequences, we could say. You create things, you create worlds, you create even situations and rendezvous and really interesting moments with others through your actions and your intentions. You are not small and insignificant is another way of looking at this. Who you are is important and is powerful in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture. And it says to expand yourself. And the first thing that comes to mind with that is what I was talking about with this big weight that I talked about at the very beginning, and diverting our attention to something else, something refreshing, something light. That will help us expand from this world that we're living in, that we're burdened by, expand ourselves and push ourselves. It feels like I get the visual now of like us being, say, in a really tight sleeping bag or something, you know, like a really tight fabric that's kind of tight around our body, and we're kind of really being pulled to stretch at ourselves and stretch our arms out, stretch our head out, stretch our body out of our comfort zone. And what we think is, in some cases, what we think is maybe problematic may not be as problematic as we think when we're confined in this almost cocoon of tightness. So how can you push yourself? How can you expand yourself? How can you take yourself and everything about you and your life to the next level? What does that mean for you? What about the phoenix resonates with you? and how can you emerge from that quiet place or that dark place in the light, or that light, refreshing, phoenix-like energy that calls you. You have it inside you. So don't underestimate yourself. Try not to talk yourself out of things that can potentially be good for you or can potentially stretch you in new ways that may present quite incredible opportunities. Get on board with yourself. Stop opposing yourself. It's quite interesting. Okay, so rise as a phoenix, let's do it. So lots of motivational energy coming through for us for the next 24-ish hours. See how you go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I trust you've enjoyed this connection. I'll be back again to share with you soon. Take care and goodbye for now. Thank you.